Chapter 6180. Some people lamented, if I were that manager Chen, I might as well find a piece of tofu and kill. How can I have the nerve to join the antique circle in the future? At this moment, manager Chen, who knew he was embarrassed, had been hiding in the manager's office of the antique shop and refused to see visitors. He was pacing back and forth in the office anxiously, and the soles of his shoes were worn away. Not knowing what to do, he felt not only ashamed but also extremely anxious and angry. Needless to say, he was ashamed. Now, he felt even more embarrassed than squatting on the street and defecating in broad daylight. As for the anxiety, it was out of worry about his future. If Warnier knew about this, his job would definitely be lost. As for the anger, it was naturally because of Irvin. He felt that it was all because of Irvin that he was here today. If Irvin hadn't come up with this bad idea, how could he be so passive? However, due to the fact that Irvin is now in power, he does not dare to trouble Irvin. He can only hope that the heat of this matter will pass quickly. At the same time, he also hopes that Warnier will not pay attention to this matter. In this way, he can avoid the limelight, even he can come out and see people again in a while. At this moment, Warnier indeed did not continue to pay attention to the news on Antique Street. But by coincidence, the news reached the ears of Mr. Song, who had retired at home and wrote all day long. Mr. Song himself is also a collector, but he prefers calligraphy, painting, and porcelain and pays little attention to bronzes. However, he does have many friends in the antique circle. So he heard about this from his own small circle after lunch. When the old man heard that the previous manager of the antique shop had returned and picked up 20 million yuan in one night, he began to pay attention to the whole story. When he saw manager Chen's video last night, he suddenly became furious. In the old man's opinion, manager Chen had completely embarrassed the antique shop. Now everyone in the city knows that the general manager of the antique shop is a disgraceful, superficial person. How can the antique shop be famous in the future? So he immediately called Warnier. Warnier was in the office reviewing the progress reports of several major projects of the group. She received a call from the old man and asked respectfully, "Grandpa, are you looking for me?" Mr. Song went straight to the point and asked her, "Warnier, that manager Chen from the antique shop, how are you going to deal with him?" "Manager Chen?" Warnier recalled the video she saw on the road in the morning and said with a smile, "I used to think that this person might not be very capable. But I accidentally saw a video this morning and felt that he might have got some real talent. If you give him some time, he might be able to run the antique shop well again." Mr. Song asked, "You are not paying attention to the subsequent progress, are you?" Warnier replied, "I am not paying attention to the group today. There are too many things to take care of." "What's wrong? Is there any new development?" Mr. Song said angrily, "Don't mention it, that guy was talking so much in the video." But this morning, Liang Yun, the man in front of the antique shop, sold the bronze Buddha in the video for 20 million. It turns out that the bronze Buddha was not the modern imitation of the Ming dynasty that manager Chen said, but a serious gilt from the Northern Song dynasty. This time our antique shop has lost its reputation. "What?" Warnier exclaimed. "Is the bronze Buddha in the video from the Northern Song dynasty?" "Yes," the old man said angrily. He said, "How stupid is it to regard something from the Northern Song dynasty as a modern imitation of the Ming dynasty? The key point is that he is still the general manager of the antique shop. The antiques industry values professionalism the most. Our antique shop allows such a good person to progress. If a guy becomes the general manager, outsiders must think that the antique shop's level is not that good." Speaking of this, the old man became even more angry and said angrily, "The key is that the video of this guy commenting on the bronze Buddha is quite popular on the internet. I watched it. The number of likes has exceeded 10,000. And the number of views may have reached tens or millions. This time it is really embarrassing." Warnier also realized the seriousness of the problem and said quickly, "Grandpa, please wait a moment. I will ask the Human Resources Department to find out the situation now." After verifying that it is correct, they will process Manager Chen's dismissal and will not let him continue running the business.